to What Is Jam.
These two birds on the roof symbolize Fern and Stark. Guess you could say they're lovebirds, given this episode they're going on a date. It's nice to see them just being normal teenagers. Well, I guess they're already 18, so it's more like making up for their lost childhood at this point.
Mistress Frieren?
Okay, something that kinda pisses me off about the dub is the translation of honorifics. In the Japanese version, Fern always calls Frieren,
Frieren-sama.
but the dub keeps translating it as
Mistress
mistress,
Frieren.
and that just makes me think she's calling Frieren someone's side piece. Anyway, rant over.
Which do you think would be better?
Desperate times for Fern to be turning to Frieren for fashion advice, since we know Frieren basically only wears white. This could be symbolic since white dresses, which is what she wears 99% of the time across the millennium, are used to represent new beginnings and purity, both of which tie in nicely to Frieren's character and her journey beyond the end.
I need you to tie up my hair.
This comes up so many times during the series, and I'm just gonna mention it once here so I don't have to repeat myself. Fern and Frieren have a super flexible dynamic, and they take turns being the top. The adult, I mean. Like here for instance, when Fern asks Frieren what dress she should wear. A normal question teenage girls ask their mothers, which I'm guessing is something that happens since I'm neither a teenage girl nor a mother. And then immediately after, Frieren asks Fern to braid her hair. A normal request preschool girls ask their mothers, which I'm guessing is something that happens since I'm neither a preschool girl nor a mother. Rule 34 animators are gonna have a field day with this audio sample. Stark wearing the same fucking shit as always? Yeah, Stark is stiff because he literally starts walking wrong. He goes left foot, left arm in front instead of left foot, right arm in front. Just saying. Don't worry guys, Frieren also has a date with this old lady, so don't feel too bad for her.
Whenever we're alone, we end up talking about Mistress Frieren.
Well, it's not like there's much else to discuss.
That's strike one, Stark.
Guess dating's worth it for the deals alone.
Okay, that's strike two, Stark. What the fuck? Damn, that look back of regrets. At this point, the tension is tangible. Stark feels like a city tour guide, ushering Fern to various places to make her spend money, and Fern is clearly uncomfortable with it. This date doesn't feel romantic at all, which I think is intentional. Remember, Fern and Stark had abnormal upbringings. Both are orphans who were taken in by a member of the hero's party and were raised in isolation from other kids, therefore sabotaging their emotional and social growth. And this awkward date fully exposes this deficiency in both of them, who are clearly interested in each other and get along fine as friends, but romantically still underdeveloped. How should you dress? Where should you go? What should you even talk about? Frieren, that's what. Even without her being here, it's the common ground that clumsy conversations loop back to, and another clever depiction of their social ineptness. Furthermore, the lack of music in some of these scenes heightens the unease, and you can only focus on how discomforting the scene is. However, despite the impersonal events of the day, which Fern points out here,
They didn't feel like places you'd choose.
we end on a resolution of sorts.
Sorry, Fern. I actually had Frieren pick out all the places we stopped.
Would you do that?
I wanted you to enjoy it, and I felt clueless on my own.
I'm also happy. You worked so hard. Thank you for putting in that effort.
Sometimes,
Of
all you
course.
need to do is try. And that parable basically summarizes this episode. The first time you do something new is uncomfortable, no matter how meticulously you plan ahead. But that discomfort nurtures growth and experience, something both characters need, and towards the end, we get to see this a little. Back in Season 1, Episode 12, we see Stark cloud watching alone. But now, he can do it with a
I was
girl.
thinking the same thing.
When my parents passed, I never imagined I would experience peace like this again.
Oh, and also we get some trauma bonding. Classic Fern and Stark topic of discussion that's not Frieren or adventure related. I actually talked about this point in detail in this video, which I'll link in the description if you want to check out later.
Why did you take in somebody like me?
Because it's what Himmel the hero would have done.
Speaking of Himmel, it is crazy how many times he comes up this episode. Overtly, we see statues of him everywhere. But also we have to remember that the color blue equals Himmel. These flags all over the town are blue, the hotel they're staying at is blue-ish, and even the necklace Fern wanted to buy is blue. Himmel is omnipotent, and literally the reason Heiter and Eisen decided to foster Fern and Stark. Therefore, he is oftentimes associated with them through these subtle details. I actually talked about how Himmel was the backbone of Frieren's story in this video, which I'll link in the description. Yeah, I know people don't give a shit when YouTubers do this, but I need views and validation, so please just let me have this. And it wouldn't be a good Frieren chapter if we didn't have a Himmel flashback. And the interesting thing here is the black cat they were meant to be looking for on their dates. As we all know, black cats represent witches. Check. And bad luck, which unfortunately checks out given how Himmel and Frieren's relationship ended. But hey, at least they have a child, just in another manga. Moving on to the second half, we have a slow start, which is in line with the pacing, I guess.
You could put a whole market in that suitcase and there'd still be room.
Well, that confirms my theory that the suitcase is a form of hammer space made possible by magic.
Fern, the first class mage. Right this way, miss. You take care.
I forget she's a big deal.
When one reaches the pinnacle of magical prowess, you might want to make a mental note.
Also, yeah, pay more attention to Fern Stark. What are you doing?
It's merely the beginning.
Yeah, that was pretty cool. And it's interesting how they ran away more than they actually fought, which was explored more in episode 1 of this season.
Like a good plan.
New NPC unlocked! Stark asks this guy why he chooses to stay in this solitary house in the middle of a nightmare forest. And his answer boils down to this place is generational. They also get a quest to kill this dangerous monster from him, and that's what they do. Noah Lyles wishes it was this guy. Stark protecting Fern from turning her spine into a mosaic shows he cares about her safety, which Fern repays by shielding him from this blow, and also Frieren's old track later.
No, I'm alright.
Also, this shield here turning into butterflies is so cool. I just had to mention it.
The reason that I became a hero was because I wanted to protect my homeland. And now I want to protect other people's homes too.
Dangerous as it is, there are many who call this plateau their home.
Boom, that's when it clicks for Stark. Tying back to that NPC from earlier, they are taking the hard route, so they can protect as many people as possible, and to prevent a repeat of what happened to Stark's village. However shitty and sketchy your area may be, if you've lived there, grown up there, or spent time with people you care about there, it becomes something special and intrinsic to you. That's what we call a home, and that's why every word out of Himmel's mouth is gospel. Alright, that's all I have. If you liked this video, then please like this video, and consider subscribing while you're at it. I would love to hear your thoughts on this episode and finding more reasons to appreciate Frieren, so please leave a comment if you want to share. Also, it helps out with the algorithm. Anyway, thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.